Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It is your boy, Denali, and we are back at it, almost causing accidents. First thing in the video, really not the way to do it, but if you guys are tuned in, you know that we are back at it with another request, and if you guys can already tell from the title, we do have one picked out specifically for today. But what I'm going to do, as always, is run through the small list of people who, in fact, made today's request. And today's request is coming from AJ Smith, Caden Cook, Dom 20202, Hasib Ahmed, Blaze Kennedy, Grant Williams, Videth Alahakun, Kerwin Jamie, Dovidas Bane Vicious, Tobsters, and Gil Valdez all want to see Adam LZ's Drift 350Z. Now, for those of you guys who have been subscribed to the channel for quite some time, know that we have done Adam LZ's Cream 350Z, but this one, the new Drift Missile, is quite a bit different. So we're going to go ahead, buy up a brand new Nissan 350Z. I believe we have that option. We've got the 370 or the 03. Now, I believe Adam LZ's is the HR with the up rev, but unfortunately, we can only get that DE. So DE it is going to be. Obviously, right out of the bat, we are going to start out with a nice plain color here. Just something a little manufacturer. Let's go with that manufacturer red. Buy it up with credits and see if we can replicate this build. Now, I can't lie, I haven't been following this build quite as much as I was with the Cream 350Z. Can't lie, your boy Don Squally was a little bit jealous to see the next 350Z up in the mix there on Adam LZ's channel. And for those of you guys who are subscribed to my other channel, youtube.com/Denali, know that I am a G35 DE owner myself, so it was a mix of envy, jealousy, and just plain, I want that car, so I need to get off of YouTube and stop watching videos and get out there and start grinding, making some cash. So that's currently where we are right now with that, so I'll let you guys know. Well, if you guys subscribe to my other channel, you should be able to know when I get that 350, but I don't know, we might go with that upgrade and get the 370, but for the body kit, doesn't look like we have any real legit options. I believe this thing's still rocking that stock wing. Now, this is 100% a drift missile for Adam. Obviously has quite a few other cars. This one, I think, was just something that was cheap, had an abundance of parts available for the car, and, you know, it's a great, in my opinion, a great drift missile, the 350Z. Obviously, if you're drifting 180s and 240s, you're wrecking those all the time. Let me tell you, it's going to be tough to find a replacement shell, but there are a ton of 350Zs out there, whether it be the DE, the HR model, 370Zs, even are getting pretty cheap. For under $5 grand, you can find yourself a running and driving 350Z. In most cases, higher mileage, but nonetheless, it's doable. So that's why I think this is a great platform. Now, as always, I'm going to take a little bit of time selecting the rims. I'll let you guys know when I find something that I like here. Now, skimming through a couple of options, I did find a few that I like, but I think I'm going to have to go with these right here, the HRE 109s. I think once we paint these gold, these are going to be a perfect match. Now, these aren't the exact spoke design, but there's really not a lot of wheels here that give you that aggressive lip, which is something that Adam's car most certainly has. So we're going to go ahead and stick with the HREs, 19s all around. I put 20 on the back. My mistake, my mistake. Next up, we are going to get into the clutch, upgrading clutch drivetrain. Most certainly that transmission is going to get an upgrade just for my benefit. You know, that differential is going to help us get sideways just that much more. Brakes, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade. I feel like stopping is very underrated in video games, so that's why I usually put brakes. Obviously, this car has coilovers on it, and I'm going to go ahead and do some weight reduction on this thing. Now, this car has a lot of suspension upgrades that are specifically meant for track drifting, so I'm going to assume that there's lots of anti-roll bar bushings in there. Intake, obviously, because, you know, what VQ35 would not be complete without an intake, and an obnoxiously loud exhaust, man. So I'm not going to do too many modifications here, to be honest. Like I say, not really sure exactly what Adam's done to this thing. Now, it's tough to keep up with all these YouTubers that you guys request, and more times often than not, I'm usually just skimming for information that I can find online. You know, so I'm going to be lightly modding this engine here in hopes of making it that much easier to drift. So we're going to go ahead and buy all the parts up. And next up comes the tuning. Now, I think this thing needs to be absolutely lower than frig. Because this thing is Stance Boy fresh, I think we're going to go ahead and drop some camber all the way around, big time, and that differential, we want it to spin as much as possible. I'm not even really sure if this is how I do this. Somebody just left a comment and told me this is what I should do for better drifting. If you guys know a better way, let me know. Most certainly, let me know. And last but not least, we are going to go ahead and find a design. Now, the last two cars that we did, the last two builds, we're actually not able to find the skin that we needed. And this car, I'm not sure if too many people are going to go through the trouble of recreating this specific wrap, but we are going to find out. Go ahead and search up Adam LZ. Now, obviously, going to be a lot of cream wraps, I'm assuming, but it actually does look like the drift missile has quite a few different options here. Now, I do like that with the front bash bar on there. That's a nice little touch. Looks like a few people are trying their luck here, but I think that second guy pretty much had it down to a T with the bash bar. I don't see it getting much better than that. I do like it with the plain black bumper. I did find a few pictures of that, and as you can see, a few people trying to make that bash bar, but I think this guy right here, man, yeah, this is going to be our guy right here. He's got the chrome wheels. Everything's looking fire here. GMDXYMF, big shout outs to that guy. Let's go ahead and download this skin. Now, one thing that is great about downloading the skin is that's going to save me a ton of time actually doing it myself, which can turn a 15 to 20 minute video very easily into like a 30 or 40 minute video. But as you can see, we have the wrap, and this thing is looking fresh. That bash bar actually looks 100% legit. I can't lie. This guy's got that shading down to a T, man. Kudos to this guy. There have been times, oh, and I'm wrecking it right off the bat. There have been times in the past where people have been watching my videos and said, hey, man, that's my skin that you used. So, yeah, maybe if that happens here, man, this guy will receive his shout out. Now, 350Zs, as far as drifting and racing, not going to be the most fast car that you can buy, really. Not going to be the most powerful. NA power, so you really have to keep that thing in the power band. Now, with the DEs especially, you don't get much power under 3 grand. So one of the things that I had to do on my G35 in order to get the power, obviously intake and exhaust went on. And you know, the first week that I got the car, I had an intake and exhaust, but really that didn't help open up. What it was that helped, oh man, we were just spinning there. I wasn't even noticing, man. That's pretty surprising there, actually. I just went into the wall. But one of the things that really did help was the Plenum Spacer. Now, the Plenum Spacer, for, you know, an Ultima and a Maxima, which I owned before, the block-off plate is going to be your friend, but with the 350Zs and G35s, there is no block-off plate for the VIAES, variable intake something system. And yeah, so you need to get the Plenum Spacer, and that is almost like essentially giving your car VTEC, even though you're not changing a cam or anything like that. It's just the way that the car reaches power around 3 grand is much more different. Now, another big thing that I did on my DE to get the power, which is what I wanted, you know, more so for track racing and street racing and stuff like that, was the test pipes. Now, obviously, with modern cars, emissions and stuff like that, every car coming out now brand new has a catalytic converter. Now, in some countries, you know, or not some countries, some states, some provinces here in Canada, you're not allowed to remove the catalytic converters, and you know, it's actually here in Ontario you're not supposed to. But that is the biggest way to get power from these VQs now. One of my buddies got a G35 up rev. I believe it was an 06, so it wasn't a HR, but it was an up rev. And as soon as he got it, he was like, you know, picking my brain, how do I get power out of this thing? And I said, dude, test pipes all the way. Go on eBay if you want the cheapest ones and you don't really care about quality or sound, and just bolt those on, and that really is the best way to get horsepower for these cars. So a little lesson for you guys, if y'all are trying to drift or get into the VQ game there and didn't know too much about it, man. Test pipes, plenum spacer, intake, and exhaust. I do have a torque dampener on my car, which really helps. It keeps the engine from moving when I'm really launching or revving hard. And yeah, man, check out my channel if you guys want to see more of my actual car. Link should be down in the description. And yeah, that's about it for this one. This car turned out dope, man. I really love that front bumper. Couldn't have done it any better myself. In fact, I probably would have done 10 times worse, man. So I hope you guys did enjoy this one. As always, I'm your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally, and we're gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Don't die. Oh shit, where you going, bro? Don't be creeping on my friend. Don't be creeping on my friend. You and your homie. Oh, nut shot. Nut shot. Oh, buddy. Go. And your boy, man. Get him out of here. Oh, fucking. Oh, my God.